In this piece of work, I am going to look at the technical model for boxing out, rebounding, landing and passing out in basketball, and I will compare my performance to a perfect performance. Boxing out is where you make it harder for your opponent to score and easier for your team to regain possession. Once the attacking player makes a shot and the ball is in the air, you get in front of them, crouch down and wait for the ball to be in a good position to collect. When boxing out, you need to face your opponent so you know where they are and if they're going to move away from you. You then place two hands on the attacker so that you have established contact. If you only put one hand on them, then you risk them running around you at the last minute. You then turn around and stick your arms straight out and back into them to stop them from getting the ball. Finally, you go and retrieve the ball and rebound or pass it out. The skills needed for boxing out are good balance, flexible arms, strength, and steady footwork. When rebounding, you need to establish a good position on the court in order to stand a chance of getting the ball. You also need to be aware of where the attacking player is on the court. Once you have located the attacking player, you then begin to box out. You then need to grab the ball, secure it, and pass it out to the player on your team. Rebounding is essential in basketball because you can go from being on the defense to attacking very quickly. Each game there are a lot of rebounds, so being good at them is an important skill to have. When landing after rebounding, it's important that you bend your knees to absorb the impact of landing. You then bring your elbows up towards your chest when you have the ball so no one else can steal it. You should then pivot and pass the ball out to a teammate who is at the sideline of the court. Passing out is an important skill in basketball because you need to get rid of the ball once your opponents have made the shot and missed. You need to compete for the ball in the air by jumping, but when you land, you bring the ball close to your chest so your opponents can't get hold of it. You will then pivot out so you can see a player on your team in space, or if there is a player in the way, then dribble away so they can't intercept the throw. You will then finally pass the ball to your teammate who is in space, and he will dribble down the court away from your basket. This is the video of me boxing out in basketball. In the pictures, you can see what I did when I was defensively rebounding. In the preparation stage, I crouched so I was low to the ground and put my hands out wide so I was in contact with the attacking player the whole time. In the execution phase, I looked to see where the ball was going and ran towards it. In the recovery phase, once I got hold of the ball, I brought it close to my chest and passed it out to Charlie, who was standing along the sideline. When comparing me to the perfect model, I am far from perfect, but I do have a good boxing out stance. My feet are wide, so I have a low centre of gravity, and I am balanced. My arms are flexible enough to be fully extended, so I am in constant contact with the attacker. My box out is effective, and I successfully stop the attacker from getting to the ball. However, compared to the perfect model, I don't hold off the attacker for long enough because I lack the strength and height, so I am too close to the basket and the ball could easily bounce over my head. Also, I am not able to judge where the ball is going to go, and therefore I run towards the basket too quickly. I don't jump and land in a wide stance. Instead, I have to run for the ball. In comparison with the perfect model, once I had got hold of the ball, I did well to bring it close to my chest and pass it out to a player on my team. Overall, my preparation phase was my most successful phase. My recovery phase was the next most successful, and my least successful phase was the execution phase.